The plastic container of homemade lasagna felt heavy in my hands as I walked up the driveway. Jasper's 15th birthday. I wasn't invited to stay, but I'd promised to drop off his favorite meal. Through the window, I could see 6 teenage boys sprawled across our old living room furniture, controllers in hand, energy drinks scattered everywhere. My son's laugh cut through the glass, bright and careless. I knocked twice, then pushed the door open with my hip. The laughter stopped instantly. Jasper's face went from relaxed to horrified in half a second. "Mom, what are you doing here?" His voice carried an edge I'd never heard before. I lifted the container, smiling. "Just dropping off dinner, sweetie. I made your favorite." His friends exchanged glances. One smirked. Another pulled out his phone. That's when Jasper stood up, his whole body tight with something that looked like rage. "You're so embarrassing. Seriously, why do you always try so hard?" The room went silent except for the video game music still playing. "Can you just leave, please?" Someone snickered. The phone was definitely recording now. I stood there, container still in my hands, trying to process what had just happened. The boy who used to hug me goodbye every morning was staring at me like I was a stranger he wanted gone. His friend with the phone whispered something and another one laughed. My chest felt tight. Jasper crossed his arms, waiting for me to move. I set the container on the coffee table, my hands shaking slightly. I didn't look at his friends. Didn't look at the phone. "Happy birthday, honey." My voice came out steadier than I felt. "I'll see you later." As I walked to the door, I heard the whispers starting. Someone said, "Dude, harsh." Another voice, quieter, "Bro, that's gonna go everywhere." I didn't turn around. Outside, the spring air felt too bright, too normal. My car sat in the street where I'd parked it 10 minutes ago, back when I thought I was just being a good mom. I sat behind the wheel for a long moment before starting the engine. The words kept replaying. By 8 that night, my phone buzzed with a text from my sister. "Did you see what Jasper posted?" My stomach dropped. I didn't have social media anymore, hadn't for 2 years, but Vanessa sent me a screenshot anyway. The video was short, 23 seconds. Jasper's voice cutting through, "You're so embarrassing, why do you always try so hard?" The camera caught my face, the moment of confusion before I set down the lasagna. The caption read, "Some people don't know their place." 300 likes already. Comments piling up. Half of them laughing. The other half, worse. I watched it once. That was enough. The smirk on Jasper's face hurt more than the words. It wasn't accidental cruelty. It was practiced, confident, like he'd been waiting for an audience. I set my phone face down and stared at the kitchen wall. The same wall where I used to measure his height every birthday. Pencil marks climbing year by year. Some people don't know their place. I recognized that phrasing immediately. Sleep didn't come. I kept seeing Evelyn's face, Warren's new wife, the woman who'd slid into our old life like she'd always belonged there. 3 years ago, when Warren left, he'd promised Jasper nothing would change. 6 months later, Evelyn appeared. Polished, perfect, the kind of woman who wore white and never spilled. She'd smiled at me during the first custody exchange, her hand on Jasper's shoulder. "We'll take such good care of him." The way she said it made it sound like I hadn't been. Over time, little comments. Jasper mentioned Evelyn, said maybe I should dress better for school events. That Evelyn thought my car looked unprofessional. That Evelyn knew people who could help me be more successful. I'd laughed it off. Jasper was just repeating things. Kids do that. But those exact words. Some people don't know their place. That was Evelyn. I'd heard her say it at a school fundraiser about the catering staff. Now my son was saying it about me. I got up, made coffee at 4 in the morning, and did something I hadn't done in months. Pulled out my old files. The folder was buried in my closet, underneath winter clothes I hadn't worn in years. Bank statements, emails, receipts, evidence of 3 years spent quietly holding things together. When Warren left, he'd taken the house, the car, the savings. I got Jasper on weekends and a child support payment that covered maybe half of what our son actually needed. What Warren didn't know was that I'd been covering his debts. The credit card he maxed out before the divorce and put in my name. The loan for his business that I'd co-signed. The medical bills from Jasper's broken arm that insurance only partially covered. Paid them all. Silently. Because I didn't want Jasper to know his father was drowning. I'd protected Warren's image while he built a new life with Evelyn. And Evelyn. Perfect Evelyn. I had documents there too. The scandal from her previous job. The one she'd left suddenly. Nothing illegal but messy. Embarrassing. I'd found out by accident and never said a word. Now I spread the papers across my kitchen table and remembered something my grandmother used to say. Never burn bridges. But know where the matches are. Monday morning I didn't text Jasper. Didn't call. I'd always checked in after weekends with his father. Always asked how he slept, if he needed lunch money, if his homework was done. This time nothing. I went to work at the medical office where I'd been a billing coordinator for 8 years. Answered phones, processed insurance claims, ate lunch at my desk. Normal. Quiet. My phone stayed silent too. That evening I made dinner for one. Watched a documentary. Went to bed early. Tuesday was the same. Wednesday Vanessa called. Have you talked to Jasper? No, I said. Why? He texted me asking if you were okay. You haven't messaged him. I'm fine, I said. Just busy. Vanessa paused. Maribel, what are you doing? Exactly what I should have done 3 years ago, I said. I'm stopping. Thursday afternoon my phone rang. Warren. I let it go to voicemail. He called again an hour later. This time I answered. We need to talk about Jasper's account, he said. No greeting, no apology about the video. The payment didn't go through. That's because I removed my card from it, I said calmly. What? You can't just do that. Actually, I can. It's my card. Warren's voice went tight. Maribel, we had an agreement. You'd help until he turned 18. No, Warren. You asked. And I said yes because I didn't want Jasper to suffer. But agreements go both ways. There was silence, then a long breath. Look, if this is about that video, kids say stupid things. He's 15. He humiliated me publicly, Warren. And you're calling about money, not about that. I could hear him searching for the right words, the smooth tone he used to use when he wanted something. He probably didn't mean it the way it sounded. Actually, I think he meant it exactly that way. Pause. Did you know he was going to post that video? Course not. But you knew he was angry at me. Another pause, longer. He's mentioned you can be a lot sometimes. Lot. Closed my eyes. Define a lot. Warren sighed. You know what I mean. Showing up unannounced, trying too hard to be involved. Evelyn said maybe you should give him more space. There it was. I thanked him for his honesty and hung up. Then I sent one email. The email went to the loan company where Warren and I had co-signed 5 years ago for his business venture. I requested removal of my name from the obligation, citing the divorce decree that stated Warren assumed all business debts. It was legal. I checked with a lawyer months ago, back when I first realized how much I was still covering. I just hadn't pulled the trigger. Till now. Friday at school, Jasper sat with his usual crowd at lunch. The video had been shared 200 more times. People still brought it up, laughing, asking if his mom was really that clueless. Jasper laughed along. But something felt wrong. His biology teacher, Mrs. Kemp, stopped him after class. That video going around, she said quietly. That's your mother. Jasper shrugged. It was just a joke. Mrs. Kemp looked at him for a long moment. Was it? By Friday night, Jasper noticed his debit card declining at the gas station. He tried twice. Declined. Confused, he texted his dad. Warren didn't respond for 3 hours. When he finally did, it was brief. Talk to your mother. Jasper stared at the message. Then, for the first time in 5 days, he texted me. Mom. My phone lit up at 9 p.m. I looked at the message for a full minute before typing back. Yes. My card isn't working. Did you do something? I removed my payment information from your account. Why? Because I'm no longer financially responsible for things your father agreed to handle. There was a long pause. Those 3 dots appeared and disappeared 4 times before his next message came. Are you serious right now? This is because of that video, isn't it? This is because I'm choosing not to absorb disrespect while subsidizing your life. The dots appeared again, then stopped. No response. I set my phone down and went back to reading. 20 minutes later, Warren called. You're being petty, he said. I'm being clear, I corrected. Jasper needs that account for gas, for food when he's out with friends. Then fund it yourself, Warren. You're his father. He has expenses. Do I? And I'm no longer covering yours. What's that supposed to mean? Means the free ride is over. You can figure out how to parent your son without my money. I hung up before he could respond. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. Saturday morning, Evelyn called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Maribel, we need to discuss your behavior. My behavior? You're punishing a child because your feelings were hurt. I'm removing financial support I was never obligated to provide. That's not punishment. That's a boundary. Evelyn's voice went cold. Jasper looks up to Warren and me. We're providing him with opportunities you can't. Maybe if you focused on improving yourself instead of playing victim, you'd understand. I let the silence stretch. Then I said very calmly, tell me, Evelyn. Does Warren know about Atlanta? The line went quiet. What? Your previous job. The reason you left so suddenly. The incident with the board member's husband. Nothing illegal, of course. Just socially inconvenient. How do you? She started, then stopped. I've known for 2 years, I said. I never mentioned it because it wasn't relevant. But if you're going to lecture me about improving myself, maybe we should discuss who's really playing a role here. She hung up, smiled. It wasn't kind, but it felt deserved. For years I'd been the shock absorber. Warren would forget to pick Jasper up. I'd rearrange my schedule. Evelyn would make a cutting comment at a school event. I'd smile and redirect. Jasper would need something last minute. I'd make it happen. I'd smoothed every conflict, called in favors, bent over backward to keep everyone comfortable. Now I stop. When Warren's sister called asking me to help coordinate Jasper's summer plans, I said, that's Warren's responsibility now. When the school called about Jasper's missing permission slip for a field trip, I said, you'll need to contact his father. When Evelyn texted asking if I could pick up Jasper from practice because she had a meeting, I didn't respond. The absence echoed. Tuesday afternoon, Warren called again, frustrated. Why didn't you grab Jasper yesterday? Because I wasn't asked, and it's not my day. Evelyn had an important meeting. Then Warren should have handled it. We've always been flexible, Maribel. You've always been flexible, Warren. I've been accommodating. There's a difference. And I'm done. By Wednesday, the consequences started rippling outward. Warren's carefully maintained schedule began cracking. Jasper missed a tutoring session. Then a doctor's appointment. At school, Jasper's world shifted in small ways. The video was still circulating, but the tone around it changed. A girl in his English class, Simone, asked him quietly, "Did you ever apologize?" Jasper blinked. For what? For that video. That was brutal. It was just a joke, he said automatically. Simone looked at him. Your mom made you lasagna for your birthday, and you humiliated her on camera. That's not a joke. She walked away before he could respond. At lunch, one of his friends, Tyler, brought it up differently. Dude, my mom saw that video. She's not letting me hang out at your place anymore. What? Why? Tyler shrugged. She said any kid who treats his mom like that isn't someone I should be around. That's insane. Tyler didn't argue, just changed the subject. By Thursday, Jasper realized he'd been depending on things that no longer happened. His mom used to text reminders about assignments. Used to make sure his favorite snacks were stocked at her place. Used to check in about his day. Now silence. He tried calling Friday night. I let it ring out. He texted. I responded 6 hours later. Yes, we need to talk. Then visit. I'm home tomorrow afternoon. The shortness of my responses scared him more than anger would have. Saturday, Jasper showed up at my apartment at 2 p.m. I'd moved here after the divorce. A modest 2-bedroom that felt more like home than the house Warren kept. Jasper knocked, and I let him in without a word. He looked uncomfortable, standing in the living room like a guest. So you're just ignoring me now? I'm not ignoring you, I said calmly. I'm giving you the space you asked for. I didn't ask for this. You asked me to stop being embarrassing, to stop trying so hard. So I stopped. Jasper's jaw tightened. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it, then? He didn't answer. I sat down on the couch, gesturing for him to sit. He stayed standing. You put that video online, I said. You called me embarrassing in front of your friends, let them laugh, and then captioned it so everyone would know you think I don't know my place. Silence. Do you know how that felt, Jasper? His face flushed. You embarrassed me first. By bringing you dinner. By showing up when I didn't ask you to. By always being too much. Too much. I let the words settle. Jasper looked away, arms crossed. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. I just watched him. After a long moment I spoke again. I've spent 3 years protecting you from truths you weren't ready for. What truths? Jasper asked, still defensive. I stood, walking to the kitchen. I poured myself water, taking my time. When I turned back, he was watching me warily. Your father's business failed 2 years ago. He borrowed money he couldn't repay. Covered it. Jasper blinked. What? I paid off $40,000 in debt so his credit wouldn't collapse. So you wouldn't know he was struggling. That's not true. It is. I have the statements. Can show you. Jasper's expression shifted. Confusion creeping in. Why would you do that? Because you loved your father, and I didn't want you to lose respect for him. Pause. And because Evelyn asked me to. His face went pale. What? She called me a year ago, I said. Told me Warren was in trouble. Asked if I could help quietly. Said it would devastate you if you knew. So I helped. Jasper sat down hard on the arm of the couch. You're lying. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to an old email, and handed it to him. He read it slowly, his face shifting through emotions I couldn't name. This doesn't make sense. Makes perfect sense, I said. I protected your father's image. Your stepmother's comfort. Your childhood. And what did I get in return? Jasper didn't answer. He just stared at the phone in his hand. I took it back gently. You got to believe your dad was successful. That Evelyn was perfect. That I was just... less. His voice came out small. I didn't know. No, I said. You didn't ask. There was a long silence. Outside, a car alarm went off, then stopped. I sat back down, this time across from him. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty, Jasper. I'm telling you because you need to understand something important. Actions have consequences. Not just for you. For everyone. He looked up, eyes red. Messed up. You did. But the mess isn't just the video. It's the belief behind it. That I was worth less. That I deserved public humiliation. That embarrassing me was funny. Jasper's hand shook. Sorry. No. But sorry doesn't undo the video. Doesn't undo the comments. Doesn't undo the fact that you let strangers laugh at me. He broke then. Tears spilling over, shoulders shaking. I didn't move to comfort him. Not yet. He needed to sit in this. After a moment, he whispered, What do I do? You start by taking the video down. Then you figure out who you want to be. That night, the video disappeared. No announcement. Just gone. The comments vanished with it. Jasper posted nothing in its place. At Warren's house, Evelyn noticed immediately. Why did you delete it? She asked, scrolling through her phone at dinner. It wasn't funny, Jasper said quietly. She looked up surprised. People loved it. It had over 600 shares. It was mean, Mom. Don't call me that, she said sharply, then softened. Evelyn is fine. And it wasn't mean. It was honest. Jasper stared at his plate. He'd been thinking about what his mother said. What she'd shown him. The email. The debt. The protection. Was it your idea? He asked. What? Telling me that Mom was embarrassing. That she tried too hard. Evelyn set down her fork carefully. I may have mentioned that boundaries are healthy. That it's okay to want independence. You said she didn't know her place. That's not what I said. It's exactly what you said. I remembered. Evelyn's face went cold. You're being dramatic. Jasper looked at her fully for the first time in months. Did you ask my mom to pay off Dad's debt? Evelyn's expression flickered. Where did you hear that? From her. With proof. Warren came home 20 minutes later to find Evelyn and Jasper in tense silence. What's going on? Jasper turned to him. Did you know Mom paid off your business loan? Warren froze. Who told you that? She did. With emails, bank statements, everything. Warren's face shifted. That's complicated. Complicated. Jasper's voice rose. She covered $40,000. You told me she was difficult. That she didn't understand money. She doesn't, Warren said, then stopped. Didn't. I mean, she used to struggle. But she paid your debt, Jasper pressed. While you and Evelyn told me she was the problem. Warren looked at Evelyn. She looked away. Jasper stood up. Need air. He walked out before either could stop him. Outside, the neighborhood was quiet. He walked for 30 minutes, replaying years of small comments. His mom's clothes were always slightly wrong. Her car was embarrassing. Her job wasn't impressive. Her apartment was too small. Every judgment, every dismissal. All while she'd been silently holding pieces together. He pulled out his phone and called her. She answered on the third ring. I took it down, he said. Sorry. No. There was a pause. Can I come over tomorrow? They talked for 10 more minutes. Not about the video. About nothing important. It felt like the first real conversation they'd had in a year. Monday at school, people noticed the video was gone. Some asked why. Jasper said simply because it was wrong. Tyler approached him at lunch. Your mom forgive you. Not yet, Jasper said. But she's letting me try. That's something. Simone walked past, met his eyes, gave a small nod. It felt like approval he hadn't earned yet but might someday. In class, Mrs. Kemp stopped him again. I'm glad you took it down. Me too. She handed him a makeup assignment he'd missed. You're better than that video suggested. Hope so. By Wednesday, Jasper noticed his father's tone shifting. Warren was shorter on the phone, distracted. When Jasper asked why, Warren brushed it off. Just work stress. But Jasper overheard a call that night. Warren's voice tight, frustrated. I can't cover that right now. You said you'd handle it. Because Maribel was handling it before. And now she's not. The call ended abruptly. Jasper stood in the hallway, pieces clicking. His dad's business wasn't just recovered. It was still struggling. His mom had been the safety net. And now that net was gone. Thursday he went to his mom's apartment again. She let him in, same calm demeanor. They sat at her small kitchen table. Tell me what you need, she said. I don't know, Jasper admitted. I keep realizing how much I didn't see. That's growth, I said. Most people never realize. He looked at me. Why did you do it? Cover for Dad. For Evelyn. Because I thought protecting you from the truth was the same as protecting you. Pause. I was wrong. Jasper frowned. How? Because the truth always surfaces, I said. And when it does, the person who's been lied to feels twice as betrayed. You deserved honesty. Even if it was hard. He was quiet for a long time. Then, softly, Evelyn said you were jealous. Of her. I smiled without humor. Did she? That you couldn't handle Dad moving on. What do you think? Jasper looked at me, really looked. I think she wanted me to believe that. So I wouldn't trust you. Exactly. He dropped his head into his hands. I messed up so bad. But you're here now. That counts. We sat in silence. Not uncomfortable. Just real. Finally, Jasper asked, can I ask you something? Always. Why didn't you fight back? When Evelyn said those things. When Dad dismissed you. Why did you just take it? I traced the rim of my coffee cup. Because I thought being the bigger person meant absorbing the pain. Silence. But I was wrong about that too. Jasper started coming over more. Not every day but regularly. We didn't talk about the video much. Instead we talked about smaller things. Cool. friends. His confusion about what he actually wanted versus what he thought he should want. One afternoon he asked about my job. I realized he'd never asked before. What do you do exactly? Medical billing, I said. Insurance claims, payment processing. It's not glamorous. Do you like it? Considered. I'm good at it. It's stable. And it lets me afford this place. Loan. He caught the emphasis. Is that important? Very. For the first time in my life, no one can take my home away. Jasper looked around the apartment, seeing it differently. It's nice here. Thanks. I chose every piece of furniture myself. He smiled. That's cool. We ordered takeout that night. Watched a movie he picked. Halfway through he said, I told Tyler's mom I was sorry. For the video. What did she say? That actions speak louder than apologies. But she appreciated me trying. Good advice. He nodded. I'm trying, Mom. Can see that. As he left that night he hugged me. It was brief, awkward, but real. I'll see you Friday. He asked. I'll be here. After he left, I stood in my doorway and let myself feel something I hadn't in months. Oh. At Warren's house, things deteriorated. The loan company sent a letter requesting immediate payment. Warren called me furious. You can't just pull support like this. Can I said. And I did. This is going to ruin me. No, Warren. This is you facing consequences you've avoided for 3 years. Evelyn got on the line. You're being vindictive. I'm being clear, I said. There's a difference. If you cared about Jasper, you'd help. If I cared about Jasper, I'd teach him that actions have consequences. Even for the adults who should have modeled that. Hung up. The next day, Evelyn's social circle began asking questions. Someone had mentioned the Atlanta incident. Not publicly. Just whispers. Enough to make her position uncomfortable. She knew it came from me. I called. What did you do? I didn't do anything, I said truthfully. I simply stopped preventing what was already there. You promised you wouldn't say anything. I promised I wouldn't bring it up unnecessarily. But when you lecture me about improvement, the context matters. This is blackmail. Well, blackmail would be threatening exposure for gain. I'm just not protecting you anymore. There's a difference. She hung up. I didn't feel guilty. For the first time in years I felt free. Saturday Jasper came over upset. Dad and Evelyn are fighting. About money. Her reputation. He nodded. They're under pressure. That's not your fault. Feels like it is. It's not, I said firmly. Their problems existed before you took down that video. You're just seeing them clearly now. Jasper sat on my couch, looking exhausted. Evelyn said you're trying to destroy them. I'm not trying to destroy anyone. I'm just not holding things together anymore. What's the difference? One requires effort. The other is just stopping. He thought about that. Then, did you ever love Dad? Once. Very much. What happened? He wanted a different life. One where I fit a specific role. And when I didn't, he found someone who would. Jasper's voice was small. Do you hate him? Well, but I don't trust him. And I won't pretend anymore. That afternoon Warren called Jasper. Said they needed to talk about my behavior. Jasper listened. Then said something that surprised me later when he told me. Dad, I think maybe you need to handle your own problems. What's that supposed to mean? It means Mom's been covering for you. And now she's not. That's not her choice to make. Actually, Warren said it is. And I think she's right. Warren sputtered. You don't understand the situation. I understand enough. The call ended badly. Jasper told me about it that night, voice shaking. I stuck up for you. I'm proud of you, I said. Even if it's hard. Especially then. Evelyn's position crumbled slowly. Then all at once. The whispers about Atlanta grew louder. Someone from her old company confirmed details. Nothing illegal but damaging. Her social standing, the thing she valued most, eroded. She blamed me publicly at a school event. Maribel can't stand to see other people happy, she said to a group of parents. She's trying to ruin us because Warren moved on. One of the parents, a woman I'd worked with on fundraisers, spoke up quietly. That's interesting. Because Maribel never mentioned you at all. She only ever spoke about Jasper. Evelyn flushed. You don't know the whole story. Neither do you apparently, the woman said. Several people nodded. Evelyn left early. The story spread. By Monday, people were asking me questions. Not accusatory. Just curious. I answered honestly. Without drama. Without blame. Just facts. The truth was enough. Warren's business struggled without my financial buffer. He had to make cuts, restructure. It was hard but not impossible. He'd survive. Just not as comfortably. Jasper watched it all unfold. Saw how lies collapsed under the weight of truth. How cruelty circled back. How the people who'd seemed powerful were only powerful because others held them up. One night he asked, do you feel bad? About what? About them struggling. Thought about it. I feel sad that it came to this. But no, I don't feel bad about choosing myself. 3 months later I moved. Not far. Just to a better apartment with a second bedroom. A real guest room for Jasper. I decorated it simply. Let him choose the paint color. He picked blue. We painted it together on a Saturday, laughing when I got more paint on myself than the wall. This is nice, he said. Yeah, I agreed. It is. He looked at me. I'm sorry I didn't see you before. See you now. No. And that's what matters. Warren and Evelyn's marriage grew tense. I heard through Jasper that they were in counseling. I didn't ask for details. It wasn't my business anymore. Jasper split time more evenly now. Not because of court orders. 'Cause he wanted to. He felt safer here, he told Vanessa. More honest. School, he'd grown quieter. Kinder. His friend group shifted. Less about status, more about substance. He joined a volunteer program at a local community center. Started tutoring younger kids. When I asked why, he said, I want to be useful. Not just visible. I hugged him. You're becoming a good man. I'm trying. One evening we sat on my small balcony watching the sunset. You know what I learned? He asked. What's that? Respect doesn't come from demanding it. Comes from earning it. And you can't earn it by pretending to be something you're not. 6 months after that birthday party, Jasper asked if he could invite his father over. To my place. I hesitated, then agreed. Warren arrived uncomfortable, formal. He thanked me for having him. We sat in my living room, Jasper between us. Dad, Jasper said. I need you to apologize to Mom. Warren stiffened. For what specifically? For dismissing her. For letting Evelyn trash her. For using her money while treating her like she didn't matter. Warren looked at me. I didn't realize how much you were doing. No. Sorry. Felt genuine. He nodded. Thank you. Jasper relaxed slightly. Warren left after 20 minutes. It wasn't a reunion. Just closure. Later, Jasper helped me clean up the coffee cups. You didn't have to forgive him, he said. I didn't forgive him, I corrected. I acknowledged his apology. There's a difference. He smiled. You're teaching me a lot about differences. But that night, after Jasper left, I sat on my balcony again. The city lights spread out below. 3 years ago I'd felt small. Invisible. Like my worth was tied to how much I could endure. Now I understood something fundamental. Respect doesn't come when you demand it. Comes when you stop begging for it. When you choose your own value over their validation. I didn't punish my son. I stopped protecting lies. I didn't teach him revenge. I taught him consequences. And in the end, that was the greatest gift I could give him. The truth. And the strength to face it.